The grand ballroom may hold whispers of romance, but today, silence holds the power. In a world ruled by poise and perfection, two of the ton's finest ladies, Yerin Ha and Hannah Dodd, face their most scandalous challenge yet, to snack in utter silence. No whispers, no giggles, no crunches echoing through the drawing room. Just pure composure under pressure. Because in the house of Bridgerton, even a single crumb can cause chaos. As the chandeliers glitter above and the porcelain teacups wait in perfect stillness. One question lingers in the air. Can Grace survive the sound of temptation? The room is nothing short of royal elegance. Golden light spills across embroidered tablecloths, and crystal plates shimmer beneath the glow of the chandeliers. Between them sits a delicate tray filled with an assortment of tempting treats. From buttery biscuits to crispy chips and pastel macarons, each bite looks like it was crafted by a palace chef. Yet beneath all that beauty lies a deadly rule: no sound, no laughter, no break in composure. The challenge begins. Yerin Ha sits upright, her posture as graceful as a duchess awaiting her cue. Across from her, Hannah Dodd hides a small smile, eyes glimmering with playful confidence. The tension is thick enough to slice through with a cake knife. A servant quietly places a bell on the table, a warning tool. Any sound, and the bell rings. The narrator's voice cuts through softly, almost like a secret being shared with the audience. The ton has seen its fair share of scandals and secrets, but never has silence been tested in such delicious form. Yerin reaches first, choosing a single chip as if she's holding a rare gem. The camera zooms in, capturing her trembling fingers, the slow rise to her lips, and the suspense of that first bite. The air stills. Hannah watches, hiding her laughter behind a lace fan. The smallest crunch echoes a sound so tiny yet loud enough to feel forbidden. The bell jingles once. Everyone freezes. Hannah bites her lip to keep from laughing, and Yerin's eyes widen in disbelief. The narrator continues. Lady Yerin faces her first betrayal not from a rival, but from the crisp itself. Laughter breaks the silence as both women try to regain composure. The camera pans over the table, zooming on the untouched snacks, now transformed into dangerous weapons of noise. The scene feels like a royal duel, one of manners, restraint, and crumbs. The challenge has only begun, but already the walls of elegance are cracking. The viewers know it too. If a single chip caused this much chaos, what happens when tea enters the picture? The music swells softly, a mix of mischief and Regency flair. As the narrator whispers, in Bridgerton's world, silence may be golden, but temptation always wins. The air is tense enough to shatter glass. Yerin and Hannah sit across from each other like rivals in a royal duel. Only their weapons are snacks. Between them lies a silver tray of golden potato chips, glistening under the chandelier like forbidden jewels. The challenge is simple: chew without a sound. Yet in this world, where one crunch can echo like a scandal, nothing is ever truly simple. Yerin reaches first, her hand hovering over the chips like a queen considering her next move. The moment her fingers touch the crust, the entire room seems to hold its breath. She lifts it slowly, eyes narrowing with silent determination. Across from her, Hannah smirks, half amused, half terrified, watching every move as though a single misstep could ruin everything. The camera zooms in dramatically. The chip bends slightly, a quiet crack slicing through the silence like a secret exposed. Yerin freezes. Hannah covers her mouth, her shoulders trembling with suppressed laughter. The tension builds, the only sound now the faint ticking of a clock in the corner. The narrator's voice breaks the stillness, deep and amused. The first move of the evening, and already, Lady Yerin's composure wavers. The crisp betrays her loyalty, revealing her struggle to the ton. Yerin bravely takes a bite. The crunch, so soft, yet so scandalous, rings louder than thunder in this quiet room. The sound bounces between the teacups, the silverware, and their widened eyes. Hannah gasps dramatically, pretending to clutch her pearls. The bell jingles. The round is lost. For a moment, silence returns, then laughter erupts like fireworks at a royal ball. Hannah leans forward, whispering, "That was the loudest chip in history." Yerin hides her face, shaking her head with playful defeat. But the narrator isn't done. His voice drops into a mock-serious tone, dripping with theatrical flair. In the ton, silence is an art form. And tonight, dear viewers, our ladies discover that even the finest grace crumbles under the weight of temptation. As they prepare for the next snack, Hannah decides to take her turn. She selects a chip so thin it's practically transparent, her expression pure mischief. She glances at Yerin, then at the camera as if silently saying, "Watch and learn." The room stills once again. Hannah brings the chip to her mouth, bites, and somehow, miraculously, no sound. The narrator's tone softens with awe. Behold, Lady Hannah. A portrait of silence, a whisper of defiance. Yerin claps silently, impressed and defeated all at once. The balance has shifted now, it's personal. The once friendly challenge has turned into a battle of wits, elegance, and snack strategy. The round ends with a playful stare-off Hannah sipping tea, Yerin plotting her next move. And as the screen fades to black for a moment, the narrator teases softly if a single chip could spark chaos. What happens when sweetness enters the game? Asterisk, the air shifts from tension to temptation. The tray of chips is gone, replaced by a delicate tower of macarons and chocolate biscuits that look far too beautiful to be eaten. Soft pastel colors lavender, rose, pistachio glow under the chandelier's golden light. The silence in the room feels heavier now, not from fear, but from craving. Every bite promises sweetness and betrayal. Yerin leans forward first, her eyes fixed on a lilac macaron like a treasure from the queen's table. The camera lingers on her fingers as they hover above it, trembling ever so slightly. She glances at Hannah, whose grin is full of quiet mischief. The narrator's voice, calm yet teasing, breaks the stillness after the chaos of crunch. Our ladies now face a gentler deception, sweets so soft they whisper lies of silence. Yerin finally picks one. Her movements painfully slow, as if touching it too hard might make it crumble. She takes a small bite. The texture is airy, the sound barely a breath. For a moment, triumph dances in her eyes. She's done it. No crunch, no noise, no scandal. But then, the macaron betrays her. A tiny crack escapes, delicate but sharp, echoing through the room like the faintest gasp at a royal ball. Hannah covers her mouth, pretending to faint dramatically. Yerin freezes, eyes wide. As the narrator continues, Lady Yerin thought sweetness would spare her. But even macarons have secrets. The two burst into silent laughter, shoulders shaking, hands covering their faces like schoolgirls caught gossiping in church. The bell doesn't ring this time. The servant can't help but laugh either. The silence has been broken not by sound, but by joy. Now it's Hannah's turn. She chooses a chocolate biscuit, dangerous, risky, bold. It glistens slightly, melting under the candlelight. She raises it with the precision of a knight drawing a sword. Yerin watches in awe, whispering, "There's no way she can pull this off." Hannah takes her bite. Eyes locked on Yerin, the camera captures every second, her slow chew. The slight press of her lips, the faint crack of the biscuit. Silence, not a single sound. She smirks, victorious. The narrator's tone deepens, rich with admiration and amusement. Lady Hannah, the Duchess of Discipline. Her grace unshaken, her composure untamed. A true Bridgerton warrior of silence. Yerin bows slightly, half mocking, half impressed. "You win this round," she mouths, her voice barely audible. Hannah tilts her head, teasingly regal. But the calm doesn't last. One rebellious chocolate crumb slips from the biscuit, landing softly on the tablecloth. Both women gasp. The camera zooms in, dramatic music swells. The narrator whispers, and just like that, even perfection leaves crumbs behind. They burst into laughter again, breaking every rule they swore to follow. The challenge may be about silence, but the joy of losing seems far sweeter. As the scene fades, the narrator ends softly. In a world of whispers and restraint, it's not the silence that defines them, but the laughter that escapes it. Asterisk, the battlefield has changed once again. The chips have crunched, the macarons have crumbled, and now, the tea awaits. Steam curls like whispered secrets above porcelain cups, gilded in gold and trembling ever so slightly on the saucers. The room is still a hush so perfect it feels sacred. Only the faint clink of a spoon against china dares to break it. This, the final round, will decide everything. Yerin sits poised, her fingers wrapped delicately around the teacup's handle. Her expression is one of pure determination. Hannah, across from her, wears the smug confidence of someone who has survived every scandal of the ton and lived to sip about it. Between them, the stakes are higher than ever. One wrong move, a clink, a slurp. A spill and the title of Silent Queen will be lost forever. The narrator's voice glides through the scene like silk. Many wars have been fought for love, power, and legacy. But today, dear viewers, we witness the war of tea, where silence is honor, and one sip could end it all. Yerin lifts her cup. The rim touches her lips. Time slows. Even the chandeliers seem to stop shimmering, waiting for the outcome. She sips gracefully, carefully, but a single clink rings out as her spoon touches the saucer. The sound, though faint, feels deafening in the stillness. Hannah's eyes widen. The bell jingles. A gasp escapes from somewhere behind the camera. Yerin lowers her cup, defeated but smiling. Betrayed. By the spoon, she whispers, shaking her head, "Now it's Hannah's turn." She straightens her back, her every movement deliberate and regal. She stirs her tea once, twice, then lets the spoon rest silently beside the cup. She lifts the cup with elegance only a Bridgerton lady could master. Her sip is smooth, her expression unreadable. Silence, not even the faintest ripple of sound. For a glorious moment, victory seems hers, but fate is cruel and so is gravity. A drop of tea escapes, landing neatly on the pristine lace napkin. Yerin's eyes light up in mock triumph, and the narrator's voice drops dramatically. And just as Lady Hannah claimed perfection, the tea rebelled. Laughter spills louder than any clink could. Both women break composure completely now, giggling like schoolgirls caught in a royal prank. The once elegant challenge dissolves into pure chaos, teacups wobbling, biscuits tumbling, and smiles brighter than chandeliers. The narrator joins the fun, his voice warm with amusement. In the end, silence proved fleeting, but laughter eternal. For what is grace without a little mischief? And what is tea without a little spill? The scene fades into a slow-motion montage, the two raising their cups for a final toast. Crumbs on the table like battle scars. Classical music swells softly, playful and triumphant. As the narrator delivers the final line, the tone turns poetic. Tonight, silence lost. But the ton gained a tale of laughter, friendship, and crumbs worth remembering. The screen fades to black. A teacup's gentle clink echoing one last time, signaling that even in a world of elegance, chaos always finds a seat at the table. Asterisk, the tea has spilled. The crumbs have fallen. And laughter lingers in the air like the faint scent of roses after a storm. The grand challenge of silence is over, yet the air still hums with the energy of mischief and pride. The elegant tea room, once a temple of composure, now looks like the aftermath of a royal celebration. Empty plates, smudged napkins, and two very amused ladies sit at its center. Smiling like victors of a war fought with crumbs instead of swords, the narrator's voice returns, low and theatrical, as if addressing the queen herself. And so, the Battle of Bridgerton silence draws to its end. The question remains, who among our noble competitors has triumphed over temptation? The camera pans to Yerin, her head tilted in playful regret. A single chip crumb clings to her sleeve like a medal of defeat. She gestures toward Hannah, laughing quietly. "I think the title belongs to her," she mouths. Hannah lifts her chin, pretending to wear an invisible crown. The room erupts into gentle applause, half mocking, half sincere. But the narrator isn't ready to hand out victory so easily. His voice shifts into a tone of gentle teasing. Lady Yerin, though betrayed by the chip and humbled by the spoon, fought valiantly with the spirit of grace. Her downfall, not of manners, but of mischief. A pause follows, filled with warmth. And Lady Hannah, ever so composed, ever so cunning, has danced through danger with the silence of a shadow. Yet even she could not escape the treachery of a single drop of tea. The camera cuts between them, two women sharing silent laughter, to warriors of wit and elegance. The challenge has ended, but the camaraderie remains. They raise their cups once more, as if sealing a secret pact between sisters of chaos and charm. The narrator's tone softens now, the drama fading into nostalgia in the halls of the Tun. Tales are told of scandal, romance, and betrayal. But tonight, a new story will be whispered, a story not of heartbreak, but of harmony. For in this duel of dignity, no one truly lost. The silence may have shattered, but laughter, dear viewer, was the real victory. The camera zooms out, capturing the glittering table, the half-eaten sweets, and the glow of two bright smiles. The Bridgerton theme swells softly, but this time it's lighter, tinged with humor, warmth, and friendship. Dodd as the scene fades to its end. The narrator delivers one final, charming farewell, and thus, the chronicles of the Bridgerton Snack Society conclude. Until next time, may your tea be steady, your laughter silent, and your snacks forever scandalous. Asterisk, the soft hum of strings fills the room. That familiar Bridgerton melody swirling through the air like the final note of a dance that's about to end. The table is quiet now, crumbs scattered like confetti, teacups half full, and two ladies glowing with laughter instead of victory. The challenge is over, but its charm lingers like perfume on silk. The narrator's tone shifts, gentle, amused, and inviting. And so, dear viewers, the Great Silence Challenge finds its end not in triumph, but in laughter. For though our ladies failed to keep their poise, they succeeded in keeping our hearts full. And in this house of elegance, that is the sweetest victory of all. The camera glides past the aftermath, the lace napkins, the half-eaten macarons, the spilled tea that catches the light like liquid gold. Each frame feels like a memory, soft and imperfect. Hannah and Yerin exchange one last look, a secret smile that says, "We did our best and had fun feeling." The narrator continues, his voice dipping into that signature Bridgerton-style charm. In the end, silence was never the goal, it was the laughter, the chaos, the friendship that truly made the moment divine. For even in the grand halls of nobility, a little noise never hurt the heart. Soft classical music swells again. The scene fades into a dreamy slow-motion montage, the cast giggling, clinking cups, sharing one last toast. The narrator delivers the final lines, his words smooth as velvet. So raise your teacups, dear viewers, to grace, to giggles, to the joy that breaks the silence. Until our next scandalous gathering, may your crumbs be dainty, your laughter loud, and your hearts light. The camera pans out one final time, showing the grand tea room bathed in sunset light. The voices fade, replaced by a modern remix of the Bridgerton theme, lively, mischievous, and full of sparkle.